Chapter 2. Knock Knock. Dan looks up, bringing his view out of the wash basin. He stares at himself in the mirror, his image distorted due to his puke covering the middle of the mirror. He seems disgruntled and barely has any energy left inside him. With a weak hand, he brings his right palm and covers his mouth. In one swift motion, he wipes the puke off of his face. Looking at his reflection intently, he takes a deep sigh. Anne looks at his reflection in the mirror. He has gotten a good night's sleep and woke up even later than usual. He takes out the toothbrush from the holder and splatters some toothpaste on the bristles. He starts brushing his teeth while enjoying the music coming from the living room. He spits the toothpaste in the wash basin and splashes a handful of water on his face. Once done, combing his unruly hair. Once done with his morning routine, Anne puts the toothbrush back in the holder and places the comb on the sink. Anne turns around and with bouncy steps, makes his way out of the washroom. He is headed towards the room on the right of the hallway. As he enters the room, he is met with a disheveled sight. Nothing in the room is in place. It looks as if a tornado has hit the room in his absence. Typical guy's room it is. Near the big white and brown dresser, some of his clothes are sprawled on the floor. Anne moves forward and picks up some of the clothing articles off of the floor. Anne puts on a white and blue jeans first, then a long-sleeved black and gray shirt. The shirt looks like it needs some ironing, but he can't care less. He completes his outfit of the day with a pair of unclean socks that he has picked from the floor as well. He picks up on sock and scratching the side of his head. He begins searching for the other one. He finally finds the other pair thrown at the corner of the room, by the wall, below the window. He picks it up and quickly puts it on. He is ready for the day. After looking at himself one last time, he finally gets out of the bedroom. He goes straight to the living room and looks around in confusion. He is searching for something. His wandering eyes stop suddenly and his brows furrowed. I had kept it here somewhere, he thinks to himself. Suddenly, as he looks down to find it on the carpet, his gaze clashes with the palm of his right hand. He finds his cell phone there, in his hand. Ah, duh, he says as he rolls his eyes at his absent-mindedness. Anne looks at his phone's screen. As he presses the power button, the screen comes to life. There are a few text and voice messages. Anne looks at the first message and swipes it open. He reads the message that says, Y'all Ann, where the fuck you at? Me and motherfucking Guano are fucking here. Fucking chillin' at the spot. Waited for you motherfucker. Anne rolled his eyes at his friend's usual tone. Anne types a quick reply. Don't worry. Running a little late, but I'll be there soon. And if do you mind easy on the swearing? Anne puts the phone down on the coffee table and sits down on the sofa in front of it. He picks up one of his shoes and puts on the right one. He looks down to see if the second one is also there, but it's not. Anne looks around, not being able to locate the second one. Where's the second one? Anne whispers under his breath while looking for the other shoe. While looking around for the second shoe, Anne's gaze lands on the phone's screen, which is still turned on. He looks at the second message. He picks up the phone instantly as he reads the name on top of the text. The contact name was Guano, and as soon as he looks at the name, his heart picked up the pace. Hey Anne, are you still coming to my mom's birthday? 'Cause my sis will be there? The last message reads. Anne responds almost immediately. You know I'm there. Anne removes his gaze from the phone and looks around the living room again. He still isn't able to find the second shoe. He walks uneasily, wearing one shoe while constantly looking around for the other one. He stops and stands in the middle of the living room. Anne decides to check all the messages first. He looks at the phone screen again to see multiple voicemails. He starts listening to them one by one. The first one was from his father's work buddy, Al. Al's static voice reaches his ears as he started speaking. Hey! Anne, it's me, Al Grudge. Your father was supposed to come to work today at 6 in the morning for missing some days back in the week. It's now 8 in the morning. I know your dad can be intolerable, but I know you. You're not like him. You're a good, sorry, hurt kid, and a more respectable person. So, can you give your dad a call and remind him if he still wants to keep his job in the next 5 hours? Watch out. The message finally ends. There is yet another voicemail that started after a pause. This time, it is a feminine voice on the other side. Hello, Anton. I was just wondering, have you seen Mr. Flicko anywhere? He's been gone since last night. I'm scared to worry. I might call the police for him, but if you see him, let me know. Bye, Anton. You're a good boy. He has recognized the voice. It's Mrs. Potflower. Anne whispers in an irritated tone, Why did I even give her my number? With that being said, Anne is just about to move when the phone beeps, indicating the arrival of a new text message. He looks down at his phone's screen, and suddenly, his gaze is locked with the new text message that has just arrived. As he looks at the message, his brows start to furrow, and panic mirrors his face, taking away the previous calm expression on his face. Where's my money? The text read. Apparently, it's sent by an unknown number, but the expressions on Anne's face indicate that he knows who the sender is. Ring! Ring! He heard the doorbell ring, and a bead of sweat trickles down the right side of his forehead. Tension rising further by every ring of the doorbell as the sweat bead trickles down his face, touching the side of his cheek, his sharp jaw, and then finally succumbing to the gravity as it hits the floor into oblivion. Anne looks up at the door in front of him. Another text message pops up on his screen, and his anxiety starts to kick in. He reads the text message as it says, Where's my goddamn money? Ring, ring, ring! The ringing of the doorbell becomes more and more consistent. This makes Anne even more tensed. Oh no, not again, Anne whispers. He knows he has to do something. As he thinks of what to do while being stressed out, another text message pops up. This message seems a lot more aggressive than the last ones. The text message reads, Where's my fucking money, you little cunt? All this while the doorbell was ringing nonstop. As soon as someone bangs on the front door, Anne suddenly shakes in his position as he was too engrossed in the message. Bang! 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 Someone is banging at the front door loudly. Whoever it is, he knows that someone is inside the house. Anne says, Boiler! As if a light bulb has suddenly lit up in his head, Anne immediately drops his cell phone on the living room floor and dashes out of the room. The phone has another new text message that reads, I'll say it again. Where's my fucking money? Anne, you little piece of shit! You better have my money or else! Yet Anne is too far gone to come back and look at the threatening message. He makes it to his bedroom and quickly jumps on the side of the bed. Putting his right hand under the mattress, he pulls out a brown paper from under it. He quickly gets up from the bed and turns around. He makes his way to the bedroom window and looks out. Anne looks down at the lower building that connects to his building. There is nothing on the other rooftop. It seems like a clear signal for him. Here goes nothing, whispers Anne. In the far distance, Anne jumps out of the window. He lands on his feet and does a smooth rollover on his back. He gets up on his hands and knees. His eyes land on the fire escape ladder across from him. Anne stands up and starts running towards the ladder. His intentions seem clear, yet the outcome of his stunt is questionable. While running towards his set target, Anne suddenly trips over something and falls face first on the floor. He looks at the obstacle and comes across with one shoe. It is the same as the one he is wearing. Ow! Anne cries out in pain. Anne gets back up and starts running again. This time he is running faster and there is no obstacle on his way. Not yet, at least. Back in the apartment, someone is still banging the front door, yet there is no one inside to answer it. The knocking on the other door is also getting louder until a hand finally opens the door. Well, hello there. Are you interested in talking about the Book of Mormon? Religious seller chirps happily. Dam looks at the religious seller in front of his house with a puzzled look on his face. I'm sorry. I'm just on my way to work. Dam doesn't get a chance to complete his sentence as the religious seller cuts his words short and starts speaking again. Did you know that Jesus came to American to... The religious seller is yet again stopped by a frustrated Dam who is getting late for work. Look, I'm in a hurry. Dam tries to explain his situation to the insolent religious seller, but is again not able to complete his sentence. But wait, sir. I'm going to tell you about the Native Amer. For one last time, Dam tries to stop him and save him from his own wrath. Look! I don't have time right now. Dam's irritation was skyrocketing as he cut him off again. And so I can give you a nice. Dam has had enough, and he is not going to stand and listen to his stories anymore. Shut the fuck up! Dam shouts loudly. He seems frustrated beyond measures. The religious seller freezes at his spot. Listen, I'm in a fucking rush. And I don't have time to hear your bullshit right now, all right? He asked in a dangerously low tone. Dam's frustration hasn't emancipated entirely, yet he tried talking to him while containing his irritation. When the religious seller doesn't respond even after a short pause, Dam asks again, All right? Yes. The religious seller stutters out a response nervously. The religious seller looks genuinely scared and nervous, and his eyes are showing his inner feelings quite clearly. Staring at him, Dam starts feeling a little remorseful. Okay, good. All right. Look, look, look. Just give me a pamphlet and whatever else you're selling, Dam tells the religious seller, who looks surprised at his sudden shift of mood. What? Asks the religious seller, as he is unable to understand what he has just seen. And I'm sorry for what I said to you early, kid. I hope deep down inside your heart you forgive me at some point in your life, tells Dam to the religious seller, looking remorseful. He actually means every word he has just uttered. The young religious seller looks at Dam with a smile on his face, and with the same enthusiasm he had when he showed up, he says, You're forgiven. The religious seller's confidence is back. He pulls out his backpack and gives Dam a pamphlet and a mini Bible to him. After handing over all of the stuff to Dam, he says, Here you go, that'll be $14.95. Here, and here a little something for your trouble. Dam hands him over the amount he had asked for with some extra cash for the way he had behaved with him earlier. The last thing he wants in his life is being cursed by a religious kid. The religious seller gives him a grateful look and says, Thank you. Also, can I also have an email address, please? Dam looks at him, confused. He isn't quite able to decipher the reason behind his demand. He finally asked, What for? The religious seller smiled as he exclaimed, Oh, every time you buy a Bible, we'll give you a nice thank you message from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Well, I don't have an email address, but I can get you my phone number if you like. Dam offers him his phone number, and the religious seller smiles in response. That's fine, sir, says the seller. Okay, do you have a pen? Asks Dam as he had none. The religious seller thinks for a second and says, I have my tablet with me. He pulls out a tablet from his backpack. All right, my number is 402-434-6547, says Dam as he types his number on his tablet. Once done typing, the religious seller starts to walk away. He looks back at Dam while still walking forward. All right, thank you so much for buying a Bible. It has been a real, the religious seller keeps on saying as he walks away. Dam, on the other side, waves his hand slowly as he closes the door without listening to the complete sentence of the religious seller. Dam puts the Bible and the pamphlet on the kitchen counter. He walks around the counter and stands in front of the fridge, opening its door. His right hand grabs a carton of orange juice and starts drinking directly from the carton. He takes one long sip of the juice. While he was at it, the old telephone in Dam's bedroom starts to ring. Dam doesn't move from his sport in the kitchen and is still drinking the OJ while listening to the phone ringing inside his bedroom. The call goes straight to the voicemail. Dam hears his usual static voice from the answering machine. This damn reach. Nobody's here. Fuck off. Beep. The answering machine started playing the voicemail right after the beep. It was a strange voice. Hello there. You've just won a free trip to the Pacific. All you have to do is give us your credit card and your bank information, your social insurance number, and the detail to your home and other properties you own. And also, an elaborate description of your wife and your children, age, sex, and appearance. You got 24 hours to call back, winner. It was a scam telemarketer who was talking in an excited voice as if he is the one who's won it all. Well, technically, he'll be the one with all the profit if someone actually falls for it, So yeah. The message ends. Dam was still busy drinking OJ when suddenly the telephone in his bedroom starts ringing again, indicating yet another phone call. This time as well, the call goes to voicemail. This damn reach! Nobody's here! Fuck off! Dam's voice in the answering machine fills the room again. Beep! Unlike before this time, a soft feminine voice filled the surrounding of the telephone. An unknown static voice comes from the telephone saying, Hello, it's me. Are you there? In a haphazard state, and in the hope of it being someone's voice, he was longing to hear. Dam spits out the carton of OJ near the air and all over the kitchen floor. He dashes out of the kitchen and makes his way towards the hallway. Dam enters his bedroom and picks up the phone handle from the old telephone. Quickly putting it near his right ear, he answers it. Hello? Is this? Dam asks curiously. He is standing near the nightstand, and his face is marred with confusion. Damn, it's me, Mrs. Potflower, comes the static voice of Mrs. Potflower from the other end. Dam's curiosity is worn off in less than a minute. He starts sitting on the side of the bed. Oh, hello, Mrs. Pothead. I mean Pothole. I mean Potflower. What can I help you with? Mrs. Potflower says in a tense voice. Oh, damn, it's Mr. Flicko. He's been gone missing for hours, dear. So I called the police to make a missing person report on him. They came, and they didn't do anything because they say he wasn't a real person. So I call them Big Meanie, and they... Dam sighs heavily at her mindless ranting. He looks up and down, then scratches his head with his left hand, all the while trying to listen to her. After some time, he says, Look, Mrs. Potter, I mean, Potflower, I can listen to you all day, but I really gotta go to work right now, and I'm running a little late. Dam's sentence is cut short as Mrs. Potflower doesn't stop talking. So now I'm here, dear. So, if you see Mr. Flicko, tell him to get me out of here. Dam immediately responds to cut the conversation short and leave for work. All right if I see Fucko, I mean Sicko, what's your cat's name again? This enrages Mrs. Potflower, as she says in a reprimanding tone, He's not a cat. He's real. You know, Dam, you can be so rude, you brute. You know, the only decent one in your family is your so. Dam doesn't let her finish what she was saying and hangs up on her. He mutters to himself, Well, she's in a good mood today. A sudden wave of disappointment crosses Dam's face. He looks a little hurt, as it wasn't the voice he has been longing to hear for quite some time. In a sad tone, he sighs and says, I hope you call. Dam stands up from the bed and starts to walk out of the room. All of a sudden, Dam trips on something. Oh, fuck!